Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We just witnessed and watched the creepiest interview of 2026 by far. The interview with Victor Marx and Candace Owens was by far the weirdest, creepiest, darkest interview of 2026. And we got a lot to talk about because that was, oh my gosh, that was so weird. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We on the road to 22K. I appreciate all the support along the way. Y'all see the map up for the ones that haven't seen it yet. I'm dropping pins where everybody is located. That way we can keep track of where everybody's listening from. So it's getting crazy. We see we got, obviously the United States is going crazy, but we crossing the water, right? We got the UK, we got South Africa right behind me. New Zealand and Australia, Japan. Yeah, so we getting everywhere. Oh, St. Lucia. So we going everywhere. So do not forget, once you comment on the video, y'all's thoughts at the end. Don't forget to drop your state if you feel like you can see I'm missing yours. So don't forget to do that. But without further ado, we got a lot to break down with the weirdest, creepiest individual of 2026 by far, Victor Marx. He is a strange individual, and we need to get down to the bottom of how him and Erica Kirk know each other. I'm sorry, Erica Francevay. I said today that moving forward, I think she loses the Kirk name, the Kirk family last name. She completely ruined his legacy. She just doesn't deserve Kirk, man. What it means to be a Kirk is so valuable. Right? When you look at what he stood for, somebody that spoke out against absolutely everything, spoke his mind. He was a free thinker. And then here she is talking about stop asking questions when he said, keep asking questions because that's what keeps you free. You don't deserve the Kirk family name anymore. You're a Francevay. And when the kids grow up, I'm always bad cop. So I'm not afraid to talk about the kids and all that. In the way that I'm going to talk about, not necessarily like let's look for them and blah, not all that. What I am going to say though is that I'm afraid for those kids to grow up and find Erica Francevay's content before their father. They need to be guided into their father's content to figure out what it means to be a Kirk, because their father's content, which is being deleted every single day, is being erased by their mother. His content, their father's content, what it means to be a Kirk and what Charlie Kirk stood for is being erased by their mother. So hopefully they're able to find that, because when they grow up and they realize and find out that their own mom told the world to stop looking into what happened to their dad, it's going to be some tough conversations. Just leave it at that. It's going to be found really, really, really interesting when they find out that their mom was acting very suspicious and behind their dad's murder. But that's another conversation for another day. Victor Marx went on an interview with Candace Owens. Obviously, this is something that, I guess you could say highly anticipated. He was supposed to come on with Corby Hall with that whole different beef going on. And I don't want to get too deep into that because I honestly don't even want to give this guy that much attention. But obviously, we have to talk about it. Because this guy is an interesting character. He doesn't really deserve all of this attention, but we can give it to him in these 10-15 minutes that we're going to talk about him. So he goes on this interview with Candace Owens, and there was a lot of different red flags throughout it that we're about to talk about and show, but it was very weird, very interesting. But that was the kind of the backstory on why he came on, because Corby Hall was on Candace Owens's show a week or so ago, telling his side of the story between his interactions with Victor Marx. And it was very weird and interesting, I guess I would say. So Victor Marx finally came on and confronted Candace Owens face to face for platforming Corby Hall and also talking different things and reasons that Candace would mention about his life. And I guess he wanted to come clarify. So let's break it down, some of the different things that I found very interesting to me. So first and foremost, I found it very weird right off the bat. He was trying to control the conversation as far as what to talk about, all this stuff. Candace clarified, you are on my show, so we're going to talk about whatever. She's going to guide the conversation. And eventually he allowed her to. But the first thing that was so weird to me was this whole argument on him serving for 3 years when Candace told her audience that he only served for 2 years. And I would have thought he was about to say 10 years. So please take a listen to Victor Marx defend his time of service and it only being 1 year off. The weirdest thing ever.
Yes, I do. But we're happy to give you the FBI's agent's name who is in charge of the investigation and moved it here. Regarding my Marine Corps time, this is one of the most flagrant misnomers that you have that really made us go, I don't think they're very professional in their investigations. You claimed without a doubt that I only served 2 years in the Marine Corps. Do you stand by that?
That was what we could find. I'm happy to edit that if you'd like to give us an updated answer.
Well, it's not just 2 years? So much edit. It was 3 years, and it was on the DD-214. So you spread misinformation with great confidence and said, what was he doing? Which shows the lack of professionalism that y'all can't even read a DD-214. So, you know what? I'd appreciate an apology from you on misrepresenting my service to the United States when I served in the Marine Corps. Will you offer me an apology for that?
I think this was just sort of a clerical error that could just have been
it's not clerical
right here. Like I said, you could come on the show and we could talk about your biography. So
well, now you know the truth.
Owed some emotional apology. It was
it's
just
not emotional.
We thought it was 2 years.
You misrepresented my Marine Corps time. I would appreciate an apology.
I'm not going to apologize.
This was a time, I think, in an interview where I felt, well, I think we all can agree that he was trying to gain control, right? He was trying to control Candace in the situation, almost like a humiliation ritual in a way, by saying, I want a public apology right now in this moment. I want to hear you apologize. And it was very weird, you know, in a tactic as well, because just like Candace said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't 2, it was 3. I thought you was going to say it was 10. 2 and 3 is crazy, right? And he sat there and said, you got it completely wrong. You spreading misinformation, blah, blah. It was 1 year off, bro. Cool. Got it wrong. Let's move on. And for him to go so hard, because he continues to do it and say, I want you to apologize. I want you to apologize. And Candace pretty much stays firm saying, I'm not apologizing to you over 1 year. I got it wrong. I admit that, right? Let's move on. So that was very, very weird. But it gets even more weird because I want to jump straight to something that was very, very interesting to me. And then we can go back to some small things. And that was his text to Erica Kirk after whatever happened to Charlie. Because it was very interesting. Obviously, you know, the original narrative is that Charlie Kirk was done dirty by this lone wolf, right? Tyler Robinson allegedly did all of this stuff on his own. He woke up one day and decided to be a crazy man. But Victor Marx says that he texted Erica something very interesting, almost at the same time everybody found out that Charlie Kirk passed. And, you know, it was very, very quickly. I'm going to just say that. I don't want to say anything specific on times. But listen to what he said he texted Erica. This is one of the first texts to Erica after Charlie Kirk was the Big Bang.
And when I made a post and said, you know, Charlie's passed, of course, I know Frank Turret, I know the security teams. I put it up, and then I didn't see anybody else posting it. I thought it was premature, and I pulled it down because it just felt wrong that I would post it. But I wanted people to pray. And then I contacted Erica through a text and told her. I just told her, nobody's going to kill you. You're safe. You and the kids. No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie. And I was just trying to reassure her.
They just wanted Charlie. Did y'all hear that?
No one's coming after you. They just wanted Charlie.
They just wanted Charlie. Who is they? What are you talking about? Then on top of that, right? The they is crazy. But on top of that, how do you know that Erica was safe? How do you know that? At this time, we didn't even know it was Tyler Robinson yet, right? Allegedly. Because nobody believes that it was actually Tyler Robinson. But according to the official narrative, the FBI narrative, the original narrative, should I say, we didn't even know it was Tyler Robinson yet. The 33-hour manhunt was still underway. We couldn't even find the guy. But he immediately says, "You're safe? Nobody's going to kill you?" How do you know that? Nobody knows what's going on. He's supposed to not know what's going on. But it sounds like he has a lot of foreknowledge of what's going on. You're safe. Nobody's going to kill you. How do you know that? They only wanted Charlie. How do you know that? And who is they? They're going to spin this again, though. So be prepared. They're going to spin it again and say, oh, he's referring to the left. That's what they say every single time. They blame the left for absolutely everything. The right blames the left more than the left blames the right, if we just want to be completely honest. I feel like we're in a time in life where we are witnessing the party switch again. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to wake up and start. First off, I'm not voting at all. But this doesn't mean that I'm going to wake up and start voting for Democrat. I'm just realizing and understanding that I'm witnessing a pattern recognition here, and it seems like they are switching. The parties are switching. But they're going to spin this and say they means the left. But y'all just heard them. They only wanted Charlie. Who is they? And a lot of people are saying, why didn't Candace stop him, correct him, question? Well, not correct him, but question him. What does he mean by they? And in my opinion, I feel like this was amazing move by Candace. Genius move. She gave him a shovel and allowed him to dig himself a hole. By you saying whatever you want to say, I'm going to just stay silent and I'm going to let the internet clock you. I'm going to let the internet pick him apart. I'm not even going to say nothing. So that way, when I do say something, it's not crazy Candace coming up with this conspiracy again. Nah, the internet clocked you first. And now here I am saying, yeah, I found it weird too that you said that. But I wasn't the first one to say it. The internet clocked you first. The internet picked you apart first. So I thought it was a genius move by Candace, by just staying silent and allowing Victor Marx to dig himself a hole while she just watches, smiles, takes mental notes. So that was very interesting. So, I mean, that was one of the biggest things that I noticed in this interview that I was like, what does he mean by they? Now, there are some other things that was very, very weird that I'm still going to play because I feel like we should make this guy, since he's getting the attention, let's give him the attention for the right things, right? So let's talk about something that he also said, which was, in my opinion, him saying he is God. Because he tries to do this thing on Candace, and I felt like it was one of those retooling prayers that he calls it, where he thinks that he has some type of authority to command certain things over people, cast out demons, call down angels, and all this stuff. And I feel like he was trying to do this with Candace in this segment by, asking her a series of questions and her saying yes to every single one of them. And she realizes it, catches on to it, and then quickly gains control of the conversation and states her beliefs without just agreeing with everything Victor Marx says. But listen to Victor Marx on this conversation on about faith.
Do more than me. So I'll tell you, I just believe it. And we've seen it with thousands of people. And again, there's a film we encourage people to watch. They can watch it for free. It's The Unseen War. And churches use that.
Actually, wait 1 second. It's this clip.
Realm of spiritual warfare. I have to ask you, just for clarity, so I know how to communicate it best to you. Are you a Christian or a believer in Christ?
Yes.
Do you believe the Bible to be the inherent word of God?
Just to cut through what I think you're perhaps getting at. I think you and I would probably have different faith beliefs if that's what you are interested in.
Yeah,
Um,
which is
yeah,
fine.
I think that you is it fair to assume that evangelical Calvary Chapel are you evangelical? Is that correct?
I am a born again believer in Christ.
Okay. So I'm Catholic. So the idea of you not being a priest and being able to exorcise demons is something that I'm interested in.
Yeah,
So I would just like to know
sure.
who sort of granted you that authority. When did you start doing that?
Yeah, well, you believe in good and evil, right?
Mhm.
And do you believe that demons actually exist?
Of course.
I mean, so you see, he tried to get her to agree and agree and agreed. I don't know where he was going. So this is complete speculation. But I thought that was very interesting. And obviously Candace picked up on it too. And she said, I'm a Catholic. This is what it is. You know what I mean? She controlled that conversation. But I thought that was very weird. Now, here the part. Now I'm going back, right? Here the part on what he describes or how he describes his, I don't know, reasoning on why he thinks he can cast out demons and call down angels. And this is somebody that says he gets it from the Bible.
Would be able to even do more than me. So I'll tell you, I believe I can do what Christ did and said we would do also. He was the one that spoke directly to demons, told them where to go. He's the one that asked them their
Yeah,
names.
he's Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, my followers would be able to even do more than me. So I'll tell you, I just believe it. And we've,
Huh? My followers will be able to do more than me? What? The person that walked on water, casted out demons, healed the blind, right? Healed the deaf, raised the dead. And he's sitting here talking about Jesus said in the Bible that my followers will be able to do more than me. This dude is crazy, man. This dude is very, very, very crazy. And with this guy being so weird, I thought that it was very interesting that he also brought up. Well, Candace asked a great question. This was a great interview. Candace also brought up, did you do this like retooling prayer? And the retooling prayers is something that Corby Hall said in the interview with Candace Owens, saying that Victor Marx did this retooling prayer on him where he felt like there were demons in the room and he was casted down. It was weird, right? Very weird. He says that he did this retooling prayer on Charlie. I'm saying on Charlie because it wasn't just no prayer with Charlie. It wasn't praying with Charlie. He did this retooling prayer on Charlie. And I just thought that was very interesting. So let's take a listen to him. He doesn't go into detail about
I do want to
what the prayer was like, how did it go? But just take a listen to him just confirm that he was in a room with Charlie and he did this retooling prayer.
move on now to getting into some Turning Point
Okay.
USA stuff. So I
Yeah.
had heard from Turning Point USA people that you also were doing prayers at the headquarters. Like you had a room where you would conduct some prayers. Is that correct?
I definitely prayed for a couple of people there. Yeah, sure.
Did
Including
you
Charlie.
pray over Charlie and Erica Kirk in one of these prayers?
I prayed for Charlie. Yes, I did. He asked me to.
And did you do this sort of a retooling angels, demons sort of prayer over him and Erica?
Just Charlie. He asked me to.
Okay. And they gave you an office to do this. Is that right?
I prayed for him in his office.
And also other people at Turning Point USA outside of Charlie?
I think there were 3 other people that I prayed for that asked for that. Yeah.
Okay. How did you meet Charlie and or Erica?
And before he answers that question, is that not weird? Who told Charlie that was a great idea? Erica Franz Vey is supposed to be his wife. Somebody that's so rooted in Christ, in the jet stream of God's will. You didn't have enough discernment to say, I think this is a bad idea. I think this is a terrible idea. I don't think you should go in there with this guy. Oh, I forgot she couldn't do that because she was cool with Victor Marx. Somehow she was cool with this evil looking dude. Victor Marx was one of the first people that was at Erica's place waiting on her to give her comfort after whatever happened to Charlie. And then on top of that, the text message that was just weird that we just talked about earlier. So of course, Erica wasn't going to be the one to say, Charlie, I don't think you should do that. So that's why, again, the question is, who is Erica Franzfeld and how is she cool with all of these weird people? She is the person that drove Turning Point Faith, right? Tyler Boyer names Erica Franzfeld as the person that was like the leader and the driver of Turning Point Faith. So she was the one that got all of these different weird people inside of Turning Point Faith. Victor Marx, one of those pastors on a Make Heaven Crowded tour. It was Erica Franzfeld. Why is she so cool with all of these different weird people? Not a coincidence at all. Turning Point USA was not only like infiltrated, right, by outside influence, foreign influence. It wasn't only infiltrated by that. Turning Point Faith was infiltrated as well by these weird individuals, including Erica Franzfeld. She was one of those people. But I thought that was very weird. And then listen to how Erica and his wife and him, I guess, met.
I was speaking at an event at a small Hispanic church in California, and Charlie was scheduled to speak, and the pastor asked me last minute to speak. The speaker met a makeshift green to hear number.
Already married to Erica, or was that a little bit before?
Yes, he was already married to Erica.
Did you meet them both at the same time or met her a bit later?
No, she was there.
Okay, somebody at Turning Point also conveyed to me, and again, this could be inaccurate, which is why I'm asking you, that there was this falling out period, that you and Charlie did have a little bit of a falling out.
What does that mean? She was there. It's specific. Did you meet Erica before Charlie or after Charlie? Or like when they got married? She was there. Nobody can ever confirm how they met each other. Erica can't confirm how she met Tyler Boyer. Victor Marx is over here acting weird when it comes to how he met Erica. And I think I didn't even get to the part yet, but basically he says, Erica, we reached out to my bride, right? He called his wife his bride, kind of weird too. Erica reached out to my bride and my bride was kind of like a mentor to her. What? Now, I could be completely wrong, right? Completely wrong. I haven't done enough research on it yet. But is his bride that person that Erica was, that pastor, right? That woman pastor or whatever, that she was with for X amount of time, 8-9 months, whatever it was, when she was just in the word every single day. And the only person she talked to was this pastor lady. Was that her? I'm just asking. I don't know, right? It just came to my mind, literally. When I heard that, I was like, and that was this morning, because last night I watched it and I didn't think of it, but this morning I was like, hold on. Erica just reached out to his bride as a mentor. Who is this bride? I don't even know who his wife is. It could easily be proven that she's just a random lady. But when he said that, I was like, he's a pastor and he's weird. And Erica has that weird story about that female, that lady pastor that she was stuck with over that course of period of time that she was missing. I don't know if there's a connection. It could not be. I just thought that was very strange. And then obviously at the end, he goes into Corby Hall. Candace Owens just completely destroys him because he's like, Corby Hall's on the run. Turn yourself in. She's like, is there a warrant out for his arrest? He says, no, there's not. Okay, so he doesn't have to turn himself in. That was crazy. But again, the guy in general is weird. It's I don't know what's wrong with him. The biggest question is, why was he somebody super close with Charlie Kirk? Why was he somebody that was even more close with Erica Franzfeld? Why? Why was he somebody that Charlie felt like he was somebody that can pray over me and do this retooling prayer in his office. That's a way bigger deal than people think. If you don't know, go back and watch Corby Hall's interview with Candace Owens on how that retooling prayer went on him. And then think about that happening to Charlie. This guy's weird, man. But let me know what y'all think. This was the creepiest, darkest, weirdest interview of 2026. And let me know what y'all think. It's getting crazy. It's getting very crazy. We're starting to connect the dots a little bit. But make sure you hit the like button before you get out of here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 22K. I appreciate all the support on the way. And I will see y'all on the next one.